Hello and welcome to my channel Attila Tarot. In this video we will look at how's the relationship between the European Union and the United States of America will evolve. I'm kind of following the same pattern what I've been doing for these country analysis. These cards are representing the European Union. This card is representing the US, and we're going to look at the current situation, the hindering factors, the opportunities, and also the final outcome of this relationship. So let's start with the European Union. The first card we have for them is the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is a very focused energy, putting a lot of effort into something, and very detail oriented as well, making sure that they pay attention to the little details. They're kind of mastering the craft, refining their craft, and definitely focusing on building competencies. But also, they're putting a lot of effort into something, and there's going to be something that's very detailed. So I think they put a lot of effort into details. The next card for the EU is the Moon, which is a card of uncertainty, fear, and anxiety. So this can indicate that, they feel that this relationship right now is very uncertain. They're afraid that it's not going the same way as things were in the past. But there might be here some secrets as well. Mistrust with the relationship with the US, and there might be some underlying secrets that is not out. But all in all, it's kind of indicating that there's some confusion happening in the European Union side when it comes to dealing with the USA. We also have the Four of Pentacles on their end, which is kind of like a very defensive, trying to protect what I have, trying to protect what I achieved, and trying to hold on to something, whatever was happening in terms of power, economic situation as well. So I think they will have hard time let go of whatever agreement, whatever approach, whatever kind of trade agreement was between the two regions or countries, because the EU is really not one country. But all in all, I think the EU is in that state of mind that they have hard time letting go, and they're very defensive. They're kind of trying to hold on to whatever they have, whatever they achieved. At the bottom of the deck for them, we do have the Hanged Man, which is kind of like a wait and surrender kind of energy. They need to see things from a different perspective, and they might be kind of stuck. They might be feeling stuck because they're holding on to whatever was happening in the past, and I think they have just a hard time letting it go. But I think the advice of the Hangman is that you need to let go of something. You need to see this situation from a totally different point of view. Now let's look at the cards for the United States. The first card for them is the Ace of Swords, which is the card of clarity, communication, new approach, victory, contracts as well, and the truth. So I think they've been definitely more outspoken in terms of taking a stance in terms of where they are, and also there might be here some new contract that they might be proposing, or a new type of agreement. But they're definitely been bold in terms of their communication style. We also have here the Fool, which is kind of a card of new beginning, new chapters, taking a leap of faith into a new direction. What you need to know about the Fool, that the Fool has some experience but doesn't have all the experiences, and the Fool doesn't always see the risks that are ahead of him, and that's why you have the Dog. The Dog is the people around them that is trying to warn that, okay, if you're going into that direction, you might actually fall off the cliff. I might find that card so you can see it in the original one. But what I'm kind of trying to say here is that, sometimes the Fool, yes, it does indicate new approaches, but sometimes the Fool can be foolish by the as it means, in a sense that they don't see the risk that they are taking. Right? So when you look at the original Rider-Waite, you can see that the Fool is about to step off of the cliff because they're just so excited about this new approach, and the dog is everybody's who's kind of warning that, hey, there's a cliff, so if you go into this direction, you're gonna fall. And that's kind of the energy that I'm getting here, that there's obviously a big amount of risk taking from the United States perspective going into this new direction with the European Union. But we also have here the Eight of Swords, which is a kind of a card of overthinking something and feeling trapped and seeing the situation worse than what it is. Because this card is all about that, you're overthinking and you're just feeling trapped in your situation because you're overthinking things. You're just seeing the situation way worse than what it is. And again, it might be perception, it might be just feeling trapped with previous decisions, but I'm kind of getting it here that they're kind of seeing the situation worse than what it is really. So at the bottom of the deck for the US, we do have the Sun, which is actually the most positive card in the deck. Indicates that I think the US sees this relationship positive and valuable and full of potential for success and with optimism under the surface, because it's at the bottom of the deck. But I think the issue is here that I think they're taking a foolish action and seeing their situation way worse than what it is. Now let's see the current situation. The first card in the reading is the King of Swords. What we need to know about the King of Swords, that this is somebody who is very logical, very legal point of view, fact-based approach, and focusing on the truth and nothing but the truth. It can be policies, negotiations being in the forefront, or a diplomatic energy, somebody who's kind of very logical and wise, and also kind of just trying to be saying things as they are. We also have the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is it can be new exciting approach, exploring new initiatives in terms of trade areas. But what's really contrasting when you look at the King of Swords and the Page of Wands is the level of maturity, the level of experience they have. Because the Page of Wands, like all the pages, are kind of in training. They're learning something because ultimately they want to become the king of their suit. So obviously the Page of Wands wants to be the King of Wands, which is somebody who's very entrepreneurial, very leader, like a born leader, somebody who has that chance. But I think what you see here is a level of maturity and immaturity. You can kind of see those, that owl shows that wise person and the immature person in terms of the current relationship. And you also have the Fool, which is kind of like a repetitive card here, indicating that obviously there's a new starting point, there's potential as well, but it requires openness and trust, which I think it might be very hard right now because you have here that uncertainty card on the EU's perspective. And again, taking risk, maybe taking too much risk as well. It's very much describing the current situation, which obviously we can see it from the US cards, that it is more represented from the US side. But let's see what are the hindering factors. So the first card in the hindering factors is the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is somebody who is very detail oriented. Again, I'm kind of getting it more from the EU's, European Union's perspective, that they might be too slow, they might be overthinking things, because the Knight of Pentacles wants to do everything by the book and making sure that I'm not making any kind of mistake. So therefore, it's a very, very slow progress and overly cautious as well. So I think I'm kind of getting it more from the EU side, because the US had this very bold kind of full approach versus you have here the Eight of Pentacles. Now we also have here the Four of Cups, which is a card of boredom or apathy or lack of initiative. What's kind of interesting here, that this card is all about not seeing the opportunities. So there might be some missed opportunities here, or just dissatisfaction with the current efforts, because what you need to see, she is being offered something, but she's not seeing it because she's focusing on the negatives, she's focusing on all the things that happened in the past and just being in a negative cycle. So I think there's definitely, that's a hindering factor here in terms of progress, this relationship between the two powers, probably the best way to see it. And we also have here the Three of Pentacles, which is a card of collaboration and mutual recognition. And what's here, it is definitely in the hindering factor. So it just shows that there's not enough collaboration here, and there's no recognition from both sides. So there's definitely need to be a better collaboration and building a new foundation. But let's see what are the opportunities. So the first card for the opportunity is actually great, because we have here the Chariot, which is indicating a huge potential for moving forward and being in alignment, align the goals. And it is actually a card of victory. So I think there's a potential here to come out of this current situation victorious for both sides and be in alignment, and leaving the difficulties, leaving the challenges in the past, because the Chariot is all about, bygones be bygones, and look forward into the future. So I think there's an opportunity here for that. The next card is the Eight of Wands, which is actually a positive progress. Forward. It can be great messages. It can be being, again, alignment as well, because when you look at these ones, these are all in alignment. And again, the communication. The communication aspect of it is very important. There's great chances here for great communication, positive communication, and finding a fast resolution for this current problem. Find some new initiatives that might gain traction really quickly. Now we also have here the Three of Cups, which is also great, because this is a card of celebration, cooperation, partnership, alliances, and shared wins. So from that perspective, I think there's an opportunity here to find a solution really fast and recreate the alliance, recreate the collaboration, what has been between the European Union and the USA. But let's see what's going to be the final outcome of this reading. But before that, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That's an indication that you enjoy this reading, and you're also helping me to make sure that more people can see it. And definitely comment. I would like to know where you're watching from. What do you think about this current situation between the EU and the United States, where it's going to go, and what are your hopes and fears? And definitely check out my other videos. I have quite a few similar analysis, and I have videos on other political figures. But you can also use it for your own benefit, because I have videos about for your zodiac sign that you can use in your money, career, finance, and love relationship as well. So the final outcome, we do have here the Five of Wands, which is a card of conflict and competition. So what's really important here, that there's going to be a conflict. There's going to be a competition between the two powers in terms of the EU and the United States. There's going to be disagreements as well. But really great in the Five of Wands, that generally this is not the hardcore conflict. This is the kind of conflict where they are kind of trying to see, okay, how far I can go, how far I can push the button before anything happens. So I think there's gonna be that back and forth. Also, like, you know, like training, or we're just trying to figure each other out. But also there's gonna be competition, right? Competing for more influence. Now I also have here the Ace of Wands, which is actually great because it's a spark of energy, passion, can be new ideas, new ventures as well. That actually a strong sign for a revitalized collaboration, because practically this can be that spark that rebuilds the relationship, or something that might happen here that it actually brings the two countries together, or two parties, better said. But this is a great sign that you know, the Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new. So I think it's a great way that they're going to be able to find some new approaches. Now we also have here the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands, which is the card of early successes and looking into the future and planning the next step. So I think there's going to be some kind of a new idea that they're going to try, and they're going to be able to see that this new approach will be actually working. And I think that's going to give some hope, some chance that they're going to be able to look into the future, how this relationship is going to go. But also this is a very international card, like looking internationally, looking outward internationally. That might be a very important aspect of the final outcome between the two parties. And at the bottom of the deck for this deck, we do have the Ace of Cups, which is actually beautiful because you have here two cards, two aces. The Ace of Wands, which is a new spark, and also the Ace of Cups, which is an emotional renewal, trust, heart-centered diplomacy, and also a card of peace. So I think they're going to be able to find something, and I can kind of see that under it is the Ten of Cups, which is a great sign of perfect happiness, perfect alignment. So I think there's going to be a good final outcome. There's going to be competition. There's going to be conflict along the way, but I think they're going to be able to find a solution, how to collaborate, how to work with each other, and leave things in the past. So that's all I have. I hope that you enjoyed this reading, and I'm going to be able to welcome you again.